Hello, and welcome to Real Sports Overtime. I'm Bryant Gumbel, sitting here with Andrea Kremer, who had a piece in this month's show on NFL cheerleaders and the life they lead. They're not getting paid much, are they?
No, they're not. Not even getting paid minimum wage. Two of the cheerleaders that are in this story, one of them feels that she made 50 cents an hour, the other 5 cents an hour for working over 800 hours during 9 months.
And you know, I mean, separate and apart from the money they're making, am I the only one who thinks this is a terrible idea, this new thing they're instituting where if you're a season ticket holder, you can basically order a cheerleader up to your suite or up to your seat?
Well, it doesn't sound good to me.
It's like a lap dance.
Right, it is. Some NFL executives they don't even want to go there for obvious reasons. You can just imagine the liability that would open. It feels that way. Some of the cheerleaders that we talked to were completely disgusted by it. Others didn't find a problem because they felt they would have a security person with them. But, you know, the whole mantra these days, Bryant, is enhancing the in-game experience.
Is this another lawsuit in the making, potentially?
Well, we do live in a very litigious age.
And the NFL is becoming a very litigious place in that people are bringing suits against them. It's not just the cheerleaders now. But we've got the concussions. We've got the former players. We've got Daniel Snyder down in Washington.
Our Toradol story that we debuted in 2012, way ahead of the curve. There's a lawsuit on that now about painkillers.
But the NFL is increasingly coming under fire. Is there sensitivity to it on Park Avenue?
Well, I think there's always sensitivity because it's a huge PR machine. I mean, one of the things that we've always learned, I don't know how you feel about it, is the NFL reacts. They're not usually proactive. They usually react to things. And yet,
when they react, more often than not, they do the ostrich move.
When they're pushed to it by public opinion. That's what's interesting to me about this, what's going on in Washington. And also it's interesting about what's happening with Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts.
Well, Goodell has not, as we speak, yet disciplined Jim Irsay, even though he's been quick to act in advance of final research.
And how about what happened in the NBA? And look how quick.
So why isn't he acting with Jim Irsay?
Don't know.
Why isn't he pushing Daniel Snyder?
He not only is he not pushing it, but his #1 guy in labor policy, Adolfo Birch, went out publicly and said, "We're okay with it. We're okay with the nickname." But as for Irsay, you know, you're disciplining your boss, and that's something that he's very sensitive to.
I understand that, but if he doesn't do that, then he is basically going to piss off his players.
Oh, they're
and
already.
And he can forget DeMaurice Smith. The relationship.
They're already pissed off because why have you delayed? And then they actually point to Adam Silver. Look how quickly he moved. Again, different situation.
So look in your crystal ball for me. Eventually, when he does get around disciplining Irsay, whenever that may be, what'll he do?
Big fine. Big fine, maybe $1 million.
$1 million to a guy whose franchise is worth $1 billion?
I hear you.
Taking a nickel?
I hear you. But there's been some precedent with other executives who were fined $250,000, $500,000. So and I think you'll see a suspension.
Not going to bar him from relationship with the team, coming to the games, having any say in decisions?
Don't know what he's going to do. Just don't know.
Let's go back to Washington.
But even so, even if he's barred, is he really away? I mean, he said that when he was in rehab, he was still keeping, Irsay was saying, still keeping track of what was going on in draft preparations.
Let's go back to Washington, Daniel Snyder. We saw the ads that were running from Native Americans. The senators have weighed in with a letter. The president has weighed in. People have spoken out from the media. And now the trademark license has been revoked. Which they're appealing right now. In the face of all of this, why is Daniel Snyder remaining so intransigent?
Because he can and because he says that he has. He came out, put it in capital letters, never, I will never change the name.
So this is just stubbornness? Or stupidity or both?
Right, but what I don't understand is considering that there's so much about money, and whenever anybody says it's not about money, of course we know it is.
It's always about money.
Think how much money you could actually make by redoing the logo, by redoing everything that has to do with the team, and you'd build goodwill to all this.
Speaking of which, as a friend of mine asked me the other day, and we don't have time to go down this road, where's Robert Griffin III in all this? Why doesn't he say something? Why doesn't he say something?
Doesn't it feel like to you that he's taking the tack that Michael Jordan used to take? Both Republicans and Democrats both buy sneakers.
That's sad.
So he's not. He's not doing that.
We got to let that be the last word. Andrea, thanks so very much.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for joining us for Real Sports Overtime. Remember, you can catch a new episode of Real Sports every month on HBO.